Rich, first of all, how are the lads after the previous game?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag really, Phil. We've got some tired and sore bodies, and the biggest obstacle we got this morning is making sure we get the right team out. You know, some of the guys are carrying some bumps and bruises. You know, there's a couple of broken ribs in there. We had some guys getting jabbed up, so I think trying to get the right balance of freshness and youth and energy in there at the same time. You know, it's a must-win game for us.
Yeah, results on Friday night didn't go away as well, so it makes extra importance out of Sunday's game.
Yeah, probably not looking at other results too much for us. We know our own situation. There's still some uncertainty, I guess, on what our fixture list will look like after this game at the weekend and what the playoffs will look like. But you know, we're working on the premise that it's going to be a top four, and for us to get in that top four, you know, there's no margin for error for us now. So we're just going to concern ourselves with ourselves and our own results, which we think is the only thing that we can control at the moment. So you know, we want to be in there swinging at the end. We always felt, given the situation, where we were at results-wise, the way the schedule's panned out, that the playoffs would come a week early. You know, we'd be in sudden death a week or two too early. But the way we look at it now, you know, we're no margin for error. So if we've got to win our next two games to give ourselves a shot at the top four, and that final, that's no different to if it were a top six where you'd have to win 3 games to get there anyway. So either way, we know we're on must win. I guess the big one for us is, at the moment, we're uncertain whether we'll be playing Castleford or not. You know, we've had absolutely no information on that. So that, you know, that in itself, I guess, doesn't make it easy when you're trying to plan. But I say we feel we're in must-win territory already.
You talked about the physical challenges the lads have got to do to back up, but mentally, how tough is it for them to get back into that game mode just 48 hours after playing the previous game?
Oh, look, I guess it's unprecedented territory, really. I think I can cast my mind back to the early 90s where Wigan had to play sort of 6 or 7 games in a 3-week period, something like that. But I think for our guys, we had the emotion of a semi-final and a cup final too, and then I think we're on our 4th game, Phil, in however many days in under 2 weeks. You know, quite naturally that is going to have an effect on the boys physically and emotionally and mentally, and I thought we saw that the other night. I did feel that we started the game in a good fashion for 15 or 20 minutes, but a little back-to-back stuff when again, I just felt that, you know, despite trying hard, the boys didn't have enough in the tank to give a good enough response. But we were a little bit better second half, and had we jagged one of those tries, you know, we could have made it a really tasty last 15 minutes. But again, I think, you know, when we look at overall, you know, the boys tried, mate. They just couldn't find that spark within them. So, you know, again, team selection this weekend, while we tested, you know, we got a number of players that simply aren't going to make it for COVID reasons, or the fact that they're just too battered, really. You know, the balance in getting a team out there that's experienced and good enough to win it, but at the same time giving us an injection of guys that are, you know, good and ready to go physically.
Do you think we'll only appreciate the sheer effort and magnitude of what the lads have done in the months to come? I mean, we were one of the first 4 teams that came back a week early than everyone else to play that catch-up game. Yeah. With the cup games we had to play every week. Our game against Toronto that has given everyone else a rest week is at the last weekend of the season. So the challenges have come thick and fast. Yeah,
challenges thick and fast. I'm not sure anybody could quite appreciate how tough it is. I know other teams, you know, we've seen Salford pull a game the other night because they simply can't raise a team. So, you know, so the challenges are unprecedented. I think, you know, it tests the squad to your limit. The fact that post Castleford we've had 4 very, very good players stood down for 2 weeks has put further strain on us. I think 6 of our Wembley team the other night weren't available for injuries. Throw Harry Newman into that's 7. You know, that's going to test you to the absolute limit, particularly when you've got as many games in such a period as you can. But we're just going to get on with it. I think our boys are, despite not getting a good performance out there the other night, our guys are very, very positive and ready for the challenge.
And having reviewed the other night's game and going and playing against the same opposition, has that give the lads a bit of a boost, knowing that actually a lot of the problems were self-inflicted in that first game?
Look, the first thing, I think we're going to be playing a different team, looking at the squad that they've named. So that in itself, you know, again puts a slightly different slant on the game. Different conditions. We're expecting a wet weekend and probably a really heavy field at Bellevue. But again, mate, I think it's just about us trying to get that energy balance right, and perhaps the other night, the way that we started in the first 15-20, we had plenty of energy, but we didn't finish our sets great. We come up with some poor errors when we had opportunity to post some points, and I think that that played a sort of major part in what happened in that second period of the first half, where we conceded some soft tries.